All right, joining me this afternoon is April Sarver, Public Information Officer for Okaloosa County. April, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Jared?
I'm doing well. Well, thanks for joining me. The county has decided to move forward with the expansion of the bed tax district. This is going to be countywide. But for those who don't even know what the bed tax is, can you explain a little about what exactly this bed tax is?
I can, and it's important to be informed since this is an election that's going to hit mailboxes at the end of September. We want people to know what they're voting on or what they have the opportunity to vote on. Currently, 62 of the 67 counties in the state of Florida have a bed tax, anywhere between 2% and 6% of every of the hotel night stays when people are staying at hotels or vacation rentals, vacation rental houses, condos, even campgrounds. So we're one of those 62 counties that levy the bed tax on overnight stays. However, we only do it in the south end of the county. So folks who are staying in Destin or staying in South Fort Walton Beach area, Mary Esther, the guests are being levied that 5% bed tax on their stay. However, in, say, Niceville, Crestview, Baker, they're not levied that bed tax. 58 counties in the state of Florida levy the bed tax countywide. So we're one of the few who only have it in a certain portion of the county. And the county commissioners, June 15th, I believe June 15th meeting is when they approve to put this on the, they approved a mail-in ballot for the citizens of Okaloosa County so that they can decide if that tax should be levied countywide instead of just in the south end.
And so if I'm not staying currently in the south end of the county and staying in a hotel, I'm not actually paying this tax. Is that correct?
Right. And just to make it clear, nobody's paying this tax unless they are staying in an overnight hotel. It is a bed tax. And so if you're staying in Niceville or Crestview, you're not going to have that on your hotel bill. Whereas somebody in Destin or South Fort Walton Beach area, they are going to have that on their bill. And what that is revenue that kind of offsets the tax burden for the citizens. There's certain things that revenue can pay for, and it can only pay for things that are in the area it's been collected from. So like right now, since we don't have a countywide tax, we can't take bed tax dollars that were generated in Fort Walton Beach and send it over to Niceville to improve one of the parks.
And so why is this being considered to go countywide as opposed to just keeping it in the southern district that it's in?
So one major thing to remember is the fact that these funds can only be used in the Destin, South Fort Walton Beach area. And our entire county does have tourism. We have tourists that come in, they come through Niceville, they come through Crestview to get to the south end of the county. There are even things that folks are doing in the north end in Crestview. There's ecotourism that can be expanded with bed tax dollars. Our tourism development department is in charge of tourism management. So that's not just marketing toward tourists to come to visit our beaches every summer from May to August, September. It can be expanded to more of a year-round destination, and that's something that can be done with these tourism dollars. We've heard we don't want more traffic. Nobody wants more traffic on the road, but with tourism management, that tourism can be spread out year-round and in other destinations than just on Highway 98.
Yeah, and so with the tourism revenue that comes in, can you kind of elaborate a little on what that revenue is allowed to pay for?
Sure, it is allowed to pay for anything that's really tourism related. So, say there's a boat ramp in the north end of the county that tourists could potentially use to do some eco tours. That boat ramp can be improved. The parks can be improved. Our waterways, conservation efforts, public safety, that can all be improved and funded with these bed tax dollars.
Okay, so with this upcoming election, let's circle back to when it's actually going to happen. Now, I know you said it's a mail-in ballot. Can you give us some specifics on what people need to know on this?
Yes, so the ballots are going to arrive in mailboxes after September 15th. They're going to arrive in about 117,000 citizens throughout the county. If there's already an approved bed tax district in your area, then you're not going to get a ballot. This is just for the district who don't already have bed tax in their area. So like Crestview, Niceville, there are parts of Fort Walton Beach, Shalimar. You'll expect to get a ballot between September 15th and October 1st. All ballots have to be returned to the supervisor of elections by October 5th. They can be returned via mail or they can be delivered. There are instructions on the ballot when you receive it in the mail, but it does have to be back by October 5th.
So if you're someone like me who lives in the city of Fort Walton Beach, you will not be getting a ballot for this. But if you're outside of the district, you can certainly expect to have one of these ballots being mailed to you, I guess, in the coming weeks.
Yeah, this is true. They'll start sending them out on the 15th. They'll have it all done by the end of September, and just look out for it. We're also going to send a mailer just to give you a heads up of what's coming, so that you'll know in advance what you're going to be voting on. It's important to understand, what you're voting on, whether you're for it, whether you're against it. This is a way to increase the revenue that can be used for infrastructure, not necessarily new roads and neighborhoods, but for facilities and parks maintenance, that kind of thing, capital improvements. There are pennies that go toward tourism marketing, but again, our tourism development department finds it important to manage that tourism and market where it makes sense and market for tourists to come in at the time of year that it makes sense. So
yeah, absolutely. And I know that we're going to have an interview coming up tomorrow with Jennifer Adams, the director of tourism for the county, and she will be going a little more into detail on what they're doing, how they're promoting, and things like that on the specifics of what happens in the tourism development department.
Yes, she will. She'll go into detail, and I think something you'll hear from her is, the tourists are already here. So the tourists that are staying in Niceville, they're staying in Crestview, that revenue currently is not being collected. It's not able to be used to benefit the citizens of that area. And this would be an opportunity to be able to use that revenue for tourism-related facilities, parks, maintenance, public safety. And fortunately, a lot of the things that tourists like to do, us locals like to do also. And so instead of having that hit our pocketbooks and more taxes, it's a way for the tourists to take that burden off of us a little bit.
Well, if somebody wanted some more information on all things surrounding this bed tax, answering questions, information on the mail-in ballots, where can they go to find additional information on this?
You can find it on the homepage of myokaloosa.com. You'll find a link to it there. You'll also be able to go straight to tourismworksforokaloosa.com, and you'll find a good list of frequently asked questions. We get a lot of questions, so we've gone ahead and compiled them there, the questions, the answers, so you can kind of get a good idea of what this would mean for your city.
All right, guys, there you have it. Upcoming election, October 5th. It's a mail-in ballot. You'll be voting on the expansion of the bed tax district to make it countywide. April, thanks so much for joining me and giving the viewers out there a little insight as to what they can expect this upcoming election.
Absolutely. Thank you.